Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel and what is the last episode in the PSE Overhaul series. It's taken me an awful long time to upload most of these videos. I did all of the work in the summer last year. It took me 3 months, as you know, and I really appreciate all of your patience for those who are watching it. And finally, for the first time in 3 months, start the car for the first time. So I really hope you enjoyed the episode, and thanks very much for watching. Okay, so what I was doing there is just trying to get the back of the car up as much as possible. So when I'm filling the coolant and I run the engine, that all the air comes out the back or up through the system. Obviously when I change the oil, I'm going to have to jack the car back up at the front in order to let the oil drain out properly from the engine. So that's the first step. Okay, so that's taken about just under 10 litres of coolant. It filled up and overflowed, but then it sort of bubbled up quite a lot and then just got sucked into the system. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the covers and then I'm going to start the car, let the engine run up to temperature, which is going to be 71 degrees on that new thermostat, and make sure all the heater lines are open, the water lines, and then recheck the level. But this is quite a big moment for me because it's a lot of work that I've done, and this is the first time I'm starting it in, I think it's almost 3 months. It's quite amazing that it's been quite so long. But yeah, here goes, as it were. So I think what I'm going to do is, because this will be the first start with the new silencers, I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit, just so it's more on that level. Excuse the wobbling just a sec. And we'll go for this sort of an angle. I think that's going to be better. A bit closer maybe. Get both exhausts. Okay, so I've got the keys. Whew. Quite nerve-wracking actually. I've got to connect the battery. I hope the battery's still live. Watch your ears. Okay, the door's open, which is a good start. Smells a lot. Oh God, I love the smell of this car. It's so gorgeous. Okay, so just let the throttle calibrate. So that is in. I don't have to worry about that. I'm just thinking there's definitely engine oil in the engine. I'm going to change that later. I'm just going to dry that maybe. Bit of spillage there. That all looks about right. Right, so here goes. Here goes. Let's make sure it's filming, because I wouldn't want to miss that. Woo! Let's actually see if those actuators work or not. We don't know if they're working. Okay, here goes. Going to start smelling in a minute because there's a lot of oil and grease burning off the system, but it's bloody loud. It sounds awesome. Woo! That is so cool. Yeah, there's some all of that smoke you can see is the paint that I put on the silencers and everything. So that should burn off. I think Chris Fix mentioned that you're supposed to run it for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes first, and then stop the engine. But let's have a look. That coolant level is pretty good. I've got no dash warning lights, which is a good sign, which means those O2 sensors are working. Okay, interesting. So, let me show you that. So, this is the first time these things have worked for me, so you have to watch these servos here. They're opening and closing, which is bloody good. See that? The only thing I can hear is a slapping sound from under here, which is very worrying. That's a bit shit. That's coming from this cylinder here. I don't know what you think. Okay, as I say, I'm just heating up, getting the temperature up a little bit. No warning lights, which is bloody brilliant. I haven't got much fuel actually, bloody Nora. Alternator is working beautifully, actually stronger than it was before. Oil pressure is good. And as I say, temperature going up now. I'm just gonna go under here and oh wait. I've heated the car up. The thermostat still doesn't seem to be opening. The engine was up to about 85 degrees and all of the front pipes are still cold, which is very strange. So, don't know at this stage. The coolant level did drop. It's dropped to about minimum there. But now I'm going to let it cool down and I'm going to change the engine oil now. Okay, so I finally got the oil filter out. That was a lot more work than I expected, purely because I didn't have the right tool. But I got there in the end. It's quite tight. It only says 12 Newton meters, but I guess it's just stuck on there. So just looking at this, see if we can see it here. Just looking at this oil filter. The last time I did this, I had a couple of these bits in here. Yeah, see those bits in there? Don't know if I can. Somebody told me they were just sort of like some kind of a build-up of the car standing around for a while. But there are a couple of them in there. I'll see if I can. Oh no, I've got crap on it there. But typical. What I'll do is I'll try and dig some of them out, and if it's, I mean, it looks like the same colour. That's all the crap I just got off the floor because that was stupid. I just put it on the concrete. But I'll be able to get some of the stuff out. It's like a brown caramel colour, and some people have said in the past that that is the same material as the chain tensioners use. They use like a grey, a caramel brown colour, and obviously if it's the chain tensioners disintegrating, that's a really bad thing. But others have said it's like a build-up of, well, I don't know, like a build-up when you don't use the car, and I hardly ever use my car, so just as well I'm changing it. But it was the same in the last filter as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put the new oil filter in, which sort of pushes up quite tightly onto the funnel in there. Interestingly enough, the car's just started to drain some more oil, so I shall wait, I guess. I mean, I've got it pretty level, I think, on the jack over there. So, yeah, just let it keep going, I guess. Okay, so I've lined up the exhausts. I have put all the heat shields on, and I'm just refitting the bumper. Just putting a little bit of anti-seize paste on these screws. It's my favourite thing. But today has been pretty good. Got the oil changed, got the air filter, the oil filter changed as well. I did the coolant as well, which you've seen, of course. I put 8 litres of oil in. It shows that it's full, but the internet tells me it's 8.75 litres if you do the filter as well. So maybe it just needs turning over, letting it settle, and then topping off. But so yeah, I've just got those last few bolts there. So these little hex things I'm swapping out for new ones here, all from Porsche. Lined up the exhaust pipes nicely and tighten those up, and pretty much done. All I've got to do now is put the wheels back on and I'm done. Taking the Porsche out for the first time, check the tyre pressures and check the oil, check the coolant levels, and I'm now taking it out for the first time this evening for a quick drive. Okay, so this is the first drive in the Porsche, and I'm gonna let it warm up for a bit. It's actually quite warm now, 80 degrees. Actually not too bad. It's bloody hell, it's so loud. Okay, how are we doing? Got to get petrol. So this is with the exhausts like normal, just off. Woo! People driving on the other side of the road. What the mad. I've got the window open, you can probably hear it a bit. Oh God, it's so loud. That's as loud. Wait. It's as loud with the exhausts off. That's with them on. So what I mean by on is with the sports exhaust switched on. Okay, so it's never worked on this car before, so I don't really know. It's not too bad. I mean, it sounds good. I've got a feeling it's not much louder than the original one, to be honest. But it's nice and smooth, having done all that work. New oils and new spark plugs, new coil packs. It runs really smoothly. Oops. Feels pretty good. But I'm not on a country road or anything. I'm literally just going through town, so I can't really tell. And somebody's driving really close to me behind me, so probably somebody from work. I'll turn it off there because this camera keeps falling over. Okay, so I've got the car on the ramp in the underground car park. It's actually quite useful. It's not my ramp at the top, it's somebody else's, but they're not here today. So it's really easy to get underneath and have a good old look. So I've looked around under here. You can't really see much because it's quite dark, but I saw one of the header bolts seems to be a bit loose. But when I was driving on the cobblestones last weekend, there was like a squeak, which was pretty annoying. So I'm just going around checking all of the exhaust system, but I can't find any loose parts or anything. But interestingly, this header spray, or this exhaust spray paint, that seems to have starting to crack off here. It's sort of flaking, you can see it here, which is a bit disappointing because obviously that was a lot of work to do, but maybe it just gets so hot. Yeah, here as well, that's a real pain in the ass. Maybe it just gets so hot that it just doesn't last, but there we are. I'm going to take it up to the garage now and see if I can tighten up those bolts and see what's going on.